Okay, so yesterday we have seen the introduction of the esophagus and what are the uh, parts of the esophagus and the length, right, and the sphincters and the layers, no, the mucosal layer, the submucosal layer, no, and we have seen the muscular layer, how the muscular layers are different from upper part to lower part, no, and how these muscles are arranged there, and what is dysphagia, how this dysphagia occurs, that also we have seen, and mainly we have seen the sphincters, the anatomical sphincter and the physiological sphincter. Anatomical sphincter is due to the cricopharyngeus, and this physiological sphincter is due to the mucosal foldings, due to the diaphragm, and due to the acute angle, right? Uh, so that we have studied. So today we will see about the
Sir,
curvature.
and constriction वो 1.25 centimeter due to intra-abdominal pressure.
Yes, that is also one of the reasons. Okay. So now we'll see the curvatures of esophagus. Curvatures of esophagus. Okay. So curvatures means the cervical portion of the esophagus that actually uh, commences at the midline. Okay. That means if you will see the in the diagram. Okay. So here you will find the vertebral bodies. Okay. So suppose in this way, right? So this esophagus that actually it is a flattened, no, muscular fibrous tube. Okay. That actually starts or commences at the midline of the uh, cervical region, right? Or cervical portion of the esophagus that actually starts at the midline. Okay. Then it started over here. Then it just inclines somewhat towards the left side. Okay. It just inclines somewhat towards the left side. Left side of the midline. Okay. In the root of neck. Right. So at the root of neck, it just enters into the thoracic inlet, right? Here you will find the, suppose, the thoracic inlet, okay, and this is your cervical region, okay. So the cervical region, it starts at the midline, okay, then it inclines towards left from the midline, okay, then it enters through the thoracic inlet, okay, to the superior mediastinum, okay, enters into the superior mediastinum, okay. At which level? at at the level of T5,
T4.
okay. Thoracic inlet at the T4, okay. Superior mediastinum T5, okay, T5 vertebra. Then what will happen? Again, it returns towards the midline. Okay, at the up to here the T4. Okay, suppose like this, no. So up to T4, it is just going slightly towards the left. Okay, inside the superior mediastinum, at the level of T5 vertebra, it returns again to the midline. Okay, so it continues at the T6 level also at the midline. Okay, but at the T7 level, okay, it again deviates towards the left. Okay, at the T7 level, it again deviates towards the left side and it inclines forward. Okay, towards the left and forward to pass into the descending thoracic aorta. Okay, and then it just pierces. Okay, so this is your T7 level. Okay, this is your T5 level. Okay, and this is your T4 level. Fine. So here is your esophagus, and just anterior to that esophagus, first you see what are the things are present. Okay, anteriorly and posteriorly, so that it will be easy to you. Uh, Anteriorly, what you will find? You will find the trachea. No, you will find trachea. So just I am drawing the outline of the trachea only. It is C-shaped cartilage. No, it is also going downward up to the T4 level. Okay, then it deviates into superior. Sorry, two principal bronchi. No, here you will find. Okay, this is one. Another one is your like this. Okay, so this is nothing but the trachea. Okay, this is your trachea anteriorly. Okay, then posterior to this trachea, what will find? There is the arch of aorta over here. Okay, here you will find the arch of aorta. Then you will find the descending thoracic aorta. This descending thoracic aorta that descends downward. Okay, and coming towards the from the left towards the right towards the midline. Okay, and at the midline it enters into the abdomen at the level of your T. What is that? 12. Okay, at the T12. So here you can see the relation. Arch of aorta, first it remains anteriorly. Then here the descending thoracic aorta, it remains left to the esophagus. Okay, then here you can see this is your, what is that? Esophagus. This is esophagus. Then it goes back to the esophagus because it has to reach at the T12 level. Okay, but at this level, at your T11 level only. Okay, the esophagus that goes towards the stomach but anteriorly. Okay, that's why here will what will find the esophagus that will remain anterior to the descending thoracic aorta. Clear?
So, can you repeat once again?
Yes. See, this is your arch of ascending aorta. Okay, your ascending aorta. Just I shall. Okay, see. This is your what? Ascending aorta. Then here you will find the arch of aorta. Okay, this is your arch of aorta that runs downward. Okay, So this arch of aorta, then we'll find the descending thoracic aorta. So this descending thoracic aorta that remains left to the esophagus. Okay, but after the T7 level, the descending thoracic aorta that goes posterior to the esophagus, and the esophagus that crosses the descending thoracic aorta, but it remains anterior to this aorta. Okay.
Sir,
Any
at
doubt?
T7 it is crossing.
Huh?
Sir, at T7 it is crossing.
Yes. It T7 it again deviates towards the left side. Okay. And that inclines forward also.
No, sir, like aorta, the descending aorta is crossing esophagus posteriorly at the level.
Posteriorly and going towards the midline. Okay, Vinayak?
Sir, what is the level of thoracic vertebra at which descending aorta is crossing the esophagus posteriorly?
T7, T8.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then this esophagus that pierces to the diaphragm. Okay. It pierces to diaphragm. Just you can see 2.5 cm, 2.5 cm lateral to the left. Okay, means if it is the midline from here to here, no, this length, okay, that will be of 2.5 cm left lateral, right? Means you can say the width of thumb, okay, width of thumb from the sternum, from your sternum. This is how you can identify the esophagus position near the diaphragm. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this thing it will present at which level? At the 7th costal cartilage. Okay, 7th left costal cartilage. Right. That means from the sternum it is 2.5 cm. Okay, at the 7th left costal cartilage. Okay, you make a point there, and that is the exit point of esophagus. Means that is the exit point of thoracic esophagus and formation of your abdominal esophagus. Clear? Or will I draw? Here is your sternum. Suppose, okay, and here this is the xiphoid process. Okay, so at the xiphoid process, your what is that? Your 7th one, 7th costal cartilage. No, here is the 7th costal cartilage. Okay, so this 7th costal cartilage, you can mark a midline over here. From this midline, 2.5 cm left lateral over the 7th, what is that? Costal cartilage. That means your esophagus is running downward and entering at this point. Okay, so what we got here, if you see the topographical image over here, we know that the sternum is over here at the midline, and the 7th costal cartilage is over here. Okay, so at the 7th costal cartilage, 2.5 cm left lateral from the midline. Okay, whatever the point will be there, that point is the exit point of thoracic esophagus towards the abdominal esophagus. No, so here you will find the stomach. No, so here you will find your left cross of the diaphragm. No, so this is the left cross of the diaphragm. This is left dome of the diaphragm, and from here the fibers are going. Okay, and they are just making a loop around the esophagus. Okay, and this is only the, you can see, whatever the loop is forming surrounding to the esophagus, that is your physiological sphincter. Okay, physiological sphincter that forms over here. Okay, so what we got now, the cervical portion of the esophagus that mainly forms at the midline, then inclines somewhat towards the left side. Okay, from the midline, at the root of neck, it enters into the thoracic inlet by diverting again towards the left. Okay, uh, at the level of T5 vertebra, it again returns towards the midline. Okay, but at the T7 vertebra, it again deviates towards the left by passing or by crossing the abdominal aorta anteriorly. Okay, then it pierces uh, to the diaphragm 2.5 cm left from the midline. Okay, so that is at the level of your left 7th costal cartilage. Okay, and here the fibers of the left cross or right cross maybe. Okay, sorry, it is the right cross. Okay, left cross is there, here is the right cross. Okay, from this right cross the loop forms. Okay, not from the left cross. Okay, so from the right cross of the diaphragm, the fibers will be looped around the esophageal opening. Okay, that is creating a sling around the esophagus, makes the physiological sphincter. Okay, then here this esophagus that enters into the abdomen to join the, what is that, stomach. No, at the cardiac orifice, right, at the level of T11 vertebra. Okay, so this esophagus that presents some curvatures over here. Okay, what is that curvatures? So here you'll find uh, two side to side curvature, side to side curvature. Okay, so this side to side curvature means what? Both are going towards the left direction. No, first at the cervical part, then at the T7 part. No, cervical part and T7 part, that deviates only to the left. No, so in left direction, right? Then this left direction, first at the root of the neck, root of the neck. Okay, before entering to thoracic inlet, and second that is at the level of T7 vertebra. Okay, before passing in front of the descending thoracic aorta. Okay, so this is your side to side curvature. Okay, then here also you'll find two antero-posterior curvature. Antero-posterior curvature. Okay, what are they? First, it is just corresponding to the curvature of your cervical spine. Cervical spine. Okay, anteriorly means you'll find the body over here. Okay, and what is that? Body of the cervical spine. So the esophagus that actually curved anteriorly near the body of your cervical spine. Okay, so first antero-posterior curvature will be at the cervical spine. Okay, then second curvature you will find at the thoracic spine. Okay, so two antero-posterior curvature will be there. So you'll say, sir, what is this? At the cervical spine, one curvature; at the thoracic spine, another curvature. Yes, because you know that the size of the body of cervical spine is different than the size of the thoracic vertebral body. Okay, that's why here the esophagus that makes a anterior. So suppose here I will draw a lateral view. Okay, so anteriorly it curves like this due to the cervical spine. Then you will find the thoracic spine, right? So the thoracic spine means that is somewhat posteriorly it is present in this way, no, like S type. So here again one curvature will be there, right? So here it starts from the pharynx. So at the pharyngeus level, here is one curvature, anterior curvature, and here is another anterior curvature. Okay, so two antero-posterior curvature will be there. That is first that it is near the cervical spine, and another near the thoracic spine. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we got the deviations, we got the curvatures. Okay, that means whole of the esophagus that will either remain at the midline or that may deviate somewhat to the left or to the midline, then to the left and forward. Okay, not in other way, right? So that means the esophagus that is not going towards the right side. Okay, that should be remain over here. If any clinical complications will be there, like the aneurysm of the aorta, the deviation of your trachea, okay, or aneurysm of your what is that, your if you will find a aneurysm over the here, no, at the descending thoracic aorta, okay, then this esophagus that may be deviated to right side. Okay, in normal case it is not deviating to the right. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll see what are the constrictions of the esophagus.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, anterior posterior curvature, the one at thoracic spine, मतलब पूरा thoracic spine में एक ही curvature रहता है?
Yes, yes. Whole of the thoracic spine one curvature, whole of the cervical spine one curvature.
Sir, can we say at cervical it is somewhat convex and then convex and कॉन्केव करके कर्वेचर होता है या फिर सेम लाइक
All are anteriorly concave.
ओके
All are anteriorly concave. Okay.
The curvature is more seen in thoracic region.
In thoracic,
हाँ okay sir.
then the cervical. Then we will see the constrictions. Okay. So normally there are 4 constrictions. There are 4 types of constrictions. Spelling मत देखो. Okay. Constriction means what? It is a narrow part. Okay. Narrow part in the esophagus. Right. So the distance of each constriction that will be measured from the upper incisor teeth. Okay. Incisor teeth. So incisor teeth is the landmark. Okay, this is your landmark to measure the what is that? The length of the or the distance of the constrictions, right? So here first constriction will be first constriction. Okay, so first constriction will be at the pharyngoesophageal junction. Okay, that will be at the pharyngo means the pharynx. Okay, pharyngoesophageal junction. Okay, and this is how much you know from the incisor teeth. If you will find this is your okay, suppose here is your incisor teeth and here is your pharynx over here. Okay, and from here your esophagus starts, right? So first constriction will be at the pharyngoesophageal junction. No, so this is this distance that can be measured from the incisor teeth to that area. Okay, so it is near about 9 cm. Sorry, not yes, it is 9 cm. Okay, 9 cm or you can say 6 inch. Okay, that means from the incisor teeth to the first constriction. The first constriction is at the pharyngoesophageal junction. Okay, so this distance is near about 9 cm or that is your 6 inches from the incisor teeth, right? Then you will find the second constriction, right? So the second constriction that is where this esophagus that will cross by the aorta. Okay, when the esophagus cross the aorta. Okay, so this is again that will be measured from the incisor teeth up to the crossing of the esophagus. No, so that will be near about 9 inch. That means 22.5 cm. Okay, it is 9 inches from the incisor teeth. Okay, then the third constriction will be there. So the third constriction that is actually where this esophagus that will cross by the left principal bronchi. Okay, third constriction where what is that? The esophagus crosses the or you can say crossed by the left principal bronchus. Okay, so this is actually at the how many cm? It is 11 inch. Okay, 11 inch. So what will say it is near about 27.5 cm. Okay, so you just see here. Here the first constriction will be at the pharyngoesophageal junction. Okay, at this level. Okay, this is your first constriction. Second constriction, when the what is that esophagus that crosses to this aorta. Okay, this arch of aorta, right? So at this point also the second constriction will be there. Okay, and the third constriction where you'll find this, what is that? This is your right side, this is your left side. No, so at this point, no, this is your third constriction. Okay, then fourth constriction will be here near the diaphragm. Okay, that will be your fourth constriction. So four constriction will be there due to the pharynx, due to the aorta, due to the principal bronchus, due to the diaphragm. So what we got, the fourth constriction. Okay, that will be when it pierces the diaphragm. Okay, that will be near about 15 inches. Okay, 15 inches means 15 into 2, 30. Okay, plus 10, 40 cm. Okay, so this length is measured from your, what is that? Your incisor teeth. Okay, always remember. So from the incisor teeth, if you'll go 40 cm down, then you'll find the fourth constriction of your esophagus. If you'll go 11 inches down, then you'll find the principal bronchus over there, and there you'll find the third constriction. If you'll go 9 inches down, then you'll find the arch of aorta, and here you'll find that there is the second constriction. Okay, then if from the incisor teeth, if you'll go down 6 inches down, then you'll find the pharyngoesophageal junction, and there you'll find that constriction. Okay, so these constriction sites, they are mainly we are considering from the upper incisor teeth. Okay, not from the lower, right? So from the upper incisor teeth, and also we are just considering the vertebral body also. Okay, so you have to remember the incisor teeth only. Clear, all of you?
Sir, can we take the why can't we take the reference from thoracic? I mean spine.
Why thoracic spine? How can you measure the thoracic spine?
Sir, from vertebra. I mean, like it pierces the diaphragm. Means it can be at T10 level.
But the thoracic spine is the curvature, no?
Yes, sir.
So it will make error, and the surgical procedure always they are approaching from anterior side, not from the posterior side.
Yes, sir.
Patient will be in a supine lying position. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, if we approach like palpitation type from
That
anterior,
is anterior only. It is good.
yes sir. So हम like स्टर्नम या रिब केज को रेफरेंस लेके कर सकते हैं.
कर सकते हैं.
Yeah,
But
okay sir.
exact location where you will get? No, arch of aorta. That means just you go 9 inches down from the incisor teeth, you will find the arch of aorta. Okay, and there is the constriction due to the arch of aorta. Okay.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Okay. Then you know the length of the esophagus, right? So the length is 25 cm. Already I have told you. So it is the esophagus has how many parts? The parts of the esophagus. Okay, that will be 25 cm. Okay, so means whole esophagus. Okay, so what is that? The cervical part, that will be near about 4 cm in length. Thoracic part, that will be near about 20 cm, and you will find the abdominal part. Okay, that will be near about 1.2 cm. Okay, so here the cervical part that extends from the lower border of your cricoid cartilage to the posterior border of your, what is that, manubrium sternum. Then the thoracic part that extends from the superior border of the manubrium sternum to the esophageal opening of the diaphragm, right? And the narrowest part of the esophagus, that is actually what is that, commences near the cricopharyngeal, or you can say cricopharyngeus muscle. Okay, and another creates at the, when the esophagus enters into the stomach, or enters into the abdominal part. Okay, so two narrowings you will find. Okay, one narrowing at the upper end, that is due to the cricopharyngeus. One narrowing you will find at the diaphragm. Okay, near the cardiac orifice. So after all this thing, we will have the relation of the esophagus. Okay, so for the relation, what I'll do, will I draw or will I write only? I think writing is good. Who will draw? No. So
Excuse me sir.
yes,
सर पार्ट्स जो है वो रीजन के हिसाब से डिवाइड हुआ है, लाइक व्हेन इट इज इन सर्वाइकल रीजन. हाँ, ओके सर.
yes. Okay, so first we'll see the cervical part of the esophagus. Okay, what is the relation, right? So anteriorly, what we'll find, this anteriorly the esophagus, that will be related to the trachea. Okay, and you'll find the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, this is anterior relation. Okay, what is posterior relation? Posterior relation will be prevertebral fascia. Okay, prevertebral fascia. You'll find the longus colli muscle. Okay, and longus colli muscle. and you will find the vertebral column. Okay, this is your posterior relation. Okay, and this is your anterior relation, right? Where? At the cervical part of the esophagus. That means this prevertebral layer of the deep cervical fascia that actually creates a movable base. Okay, where this trachea and esophagus that is actually moving up and down. Okay, during the, what is that? During the swallowing, during the phonation, okay, or you can say during the deglutition and phonation, right? So what happens here at the prevertebral, this prevertebral layer of your, what is that, deep cervical fascia, okay, this creates a movable base, movable base. Okay, so in this movable base, the esophagus and the trachea that goes up and down during the deglutition, okay, and phonation. Okay, then on each side of the esophagus, what will find on the both side, you can say the lateral relation, what will find, that is related to your lobe of thyroid gland, okay, and you'll find the common carotid artery, okay, and you'll find at the left side you'll find the thoracic duct. Okay, this is your lateral relation. Clear all of you?
सर प्रीवर्टेबल फेशिया वाला एक बार फिर से बता दो आप.
Sorry, what are you telling?
सर पोस्टीरियर साइड वाला मींस रिलेशनशिप एक बार फिर से बता दीजिए.
Posteriorly, देखो ये vertebra है ना, so this vertebra and the paraspinalis muscles, no, they are enclosed with what? A fascia, no? Enclosed with a fascia. What is this fascia? Prevertebral fascia, है ना, जिसमें तुम्हारा ट्रेपेजियस भी आता है, लंबस कोलाई भी आता है, और जो मसल्स है तुम्हारा, है ना, वो सब प्रीवर्टेब्रल फेसिया. उसके आगे क्या है? प्री ट्रैकियल फेसिया है ना. साइड में क्या है? कैरोटिड शीथ है ना. और ये पूरा एरिया क्या है? डीप इन्वेस्टिंग लेयर ऑफ योर डीप सर्वाइकल फेसिया, है ना. ये याद करो, हेड एंड नेक.
डीप.
तो इसोफेगस कहाँ पर है? इसोफेगस है ना. तो पोस्टेरियरली क्या रहा? तुम्हारा प्रीवर्टेब्रल फेसिया रहा. ठीक है, तो इस प्रीवर्टेब्रल फेसिया के साथ ये जो इसोफेगस है ये एडेसिव है ना. इसका मतलब एंटीरियर पार्ट ऑफ द प्रीवर्टेब्रल फेसिया दैट मेक्स द बेस, ओके, फॉर द इसोफेगस, है ना. तो जब हम डिग्लूटेशन करते हैं, फोनेशन करते हैं, है ना, एट दैट टाइम दिस बेस, ओके, that supports this esophagus to move upward and downward. ठीक है?
Yes sir.
Okay, so this is the relation of your cervical part. Then come to the relation of thoracic part. Okay, so anteriorly who can say what will get? Trachea? No, Anteriorly you will get the trachea. So I am just telling from above to down. Okay, you'll find the trachea. Then what will find? You'll find the arch of aorta. Okay, then you'll find the right pulmonary artery. Okay, and you'll find your left principal bronchus. Okay, then you'll find your left atrium. Okay, so this left atrium that is also enclosed with what? Enclosed with pericardium. Okay, then you'll find the diaphragm. Okay, so from above to downward, anterior relation will be, first we will find the, what is that? Your trachea. Then you will find the arch of aorta. Okay, down to that you will find the right pulmonary artery. Down to that you will find the left principal bronchus. Okay, down to that you will find the left atrium that will be enclosed with your, what is that? Pericardium. And more down to that you will find the diaphragm. Right. So this all are your anterior relation. Okay, like that you will have the posterior relation. Right. What are the things are there posteriorly present? So posteriorly, no doubt you will find the vertebral column. Okay, then you will find your intercostal arteries. No, so mainly right intercostal arteries. Which intercostal artery? That will be the posterior intercostal artery. How it is? See, this is your arch of aorta. Okay, and this is your descending thoracic aorta. Right, and here from this descending thoracic aorta, what will find? Will find the intercostal arteries, posterior intercostal arteries. Okay, but here what will find? Will find the vertebral body over here. Okay, and here what will find? Will find the esophagus that is coming this way. Right, that means you can see the left intercostal artery, they are not the posterior relation of your esophagus. Okay, but the right intercostal arteries, they are the posterior relation of your esophagus. Right, so the vertebral body and the right intercostal arteries, they are the posterior relation of the esophagus. Okay, along with that, what will find? We'll find the thoracic duct. Okay, and you will find the hemiazygous vein. Hemiazygous vein. Okay, and here in the lower part, what will find? We'll find the descending thoracic aorta. Descending thoracic aorta. Okay, so this is the posterior relation of the esophagus. Clear all of you?
Sir, left pulmonary artery.
नहीं, लेफ्ट पल्मोनरी आर्टरी एंटेरियरली रह जाएगा ना, उधर नहीं जाएगा, पोस्टीरियर नहीं जाएगा, है ना। इसोफेगस का पोस्टीरियर पार्ट में क्या क्या है उसको हमको देखना है, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पर अप टू डाउन देखो, वर्टिब्रल बॉडी है, देन दीज आर द पोस्टीरियर इंटरकोस्टल आर्टरीज है, राइट पोस्टीरियर इंटरकोस्टल आर्टरी, और एजाइगस वेन आके यहाँ मिलेगा, है ना। तो वो भी पोस्टीरियर रिलेशन है। और क्या होगा, जो नीचे के पार्ट में ये जो डिसेंडिंग थोरैसिक एओर्टा है वो भी हमारा पोस्टीरियर रिलेशन बन जाएगा, ठीक है विनायक।
यस सर। तो सर लेफ्ट पल्मोनरी आर्टरी एंटीरियर रिलेशन में आ जाएगा ना थोरैसिक पार्ट के?
नहीं नहीं, एंटेरियर नहीं रहेगा, मतलब वो जब एंटेरियर जब तक आता है तब तक तो और सारा स्ट्रक्चर हो जाता है ना। इसोफेगस के आगे ट्रैकिया हो जाता है, ब्रोंकोस हो जाता है, लॉन्ग्स होता है, प्लूरा आता है ना। फिर आता है तुम्हारा इंटरकोस्टल मसल्स, है ना, और वहां पर तुमको मिलेगा ना एंटेरियर इंटरकोस्टल आर्टरी, ठीक है। इसलिए उतना रिलेशन को हम नहीं याद करेंगे, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
Then to the right, okay, what are the things are present at the right? We'll find the right lung, okay. Along with what we'll find the pleura, right lung and the pleura, and we'll find azygous vein, okay. Here hemiazygous vein, okay, but here you'll find the at the right side you'll find azygous vein relation, okay. And at the right side another thing we will find, what is that? Right vagus nerve, okay. This is the right side relation. Like that, what are the things that is present at the left side, okay. मेरा हैंड राइटिंग को मत ध्यान दो, है ना। लेफ्ट साइड what will find? We'll find the arch of aorta, okay. Then we'll find your left subclavian vein, okay. Then you'll find thoracic duct. You'll say, sir, here is thoracic duct, here is also thoracic duct. How it is possible? Because the thoracic duct it ascends upward, okay. Here you'll find the thoracic duct, okay. So this thoracic duct it goes like this, ascending upward, then back posterior to the esophagus, then it is going towards the left because it has to drain to the, what is that, left subclavian vein, okay. That's why the left relation also thoracic duct and right relation also there is the thoracic duct, okay. Now the thoracic duct will be there, okay, that is also the left relation. Then no doubt the left lung along with the pleura, okay. Then you will find your left recurrent laryngeal nerve, okay. And you will find the descending thoracic aorta, okay. So here the descending thoracic aorta, that is posterior relation, okay, at the lower part, but at the upper part the descending thoracic aorta that will be present left to the esophagus. That's why this is also one of the relation. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Then relation of abdominal part. Okay, so we'll see anteriorly, we'll see posteriorly, right? So anteriorly we'll find the, who can say, left lobe of the liver, है ना? Posterior surface of left lobe of liver. Okay, because liver is like this, no? And here the esophagus is coming like this, right? So the left lobe of the liver, posterior surface of the left lobe of the liver. Okay, that is the anterior relation of esophagus. Along with that, you will find the left gastric nerve. What is this left gastric nerve? Left gastric nerve. Gastric nerve means your vagus nerve, right? So these two things, that is your anterior relation. What is the posterior relation? Posteriorly, we will find the left cross of the diaphragm, left cross of diaphragm, and you will find the right gastric nerve. Okay, because the vagus nerve, when it comes down, okay, it the left one, that is going anteriorly, okay, and the right one going posterior to the esophagus, right? So that's why anterior relation will be the left vagus and posterior relation will be the right vagus. Okay, so this abdominal part of the esophagus, that is very shortest, no, that means near about 1 to 2 cm long. Okay, and this is the only part that is actually covered by the peritoneum. Okay, that's why here you will find the serous membrane.